Hey you guys, Desmond here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to discuss Drag Race Holland, Season 2, Episode 5, Spill the Coffee. As always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, LaCresha. Say hi.
Ooh.
And how are you feeling upon this day?
Um, we can go to Petty University.
So, what is your overall thoughts of Friday's episode?
It was bull crap.
Nice way to say it. But we'll get to it.
We'll get to the tomfoolery in a minute.
We will get to it. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already heard my initial reaction to the episode. But hey, so one thing I want to talk about, the lighting was weird this episode. Especially in the confessionals. The confessionals were really dark.
Bad weather days?
I don't know. Like, it was just so weird. It was welly lit in the workroom, but when they were doing their confessionals, it was just dark as hell. Like, I'm like, I can barely see these queens. What's going on?
I don't think they color corrected very well.
And then the audio was off at some places. It was just like, what's going on with this episode?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too.
I'm like, well, who is mixing this episode? Because baby, they need to be fired immediately.
Their sound guy was off.
Sound and lighting.
Or
the person who puts all that together need to go into the house. And the fact that they released it like this was like, girl, really? Really?
Because it looked grainy.
It did. And I'm like, I understand, like, y'all literally just shot this like a month ago, like a month and a half ago. Like, it hasn't been that long since they've shot this. But come on now. Y'all could have done something better than this. Y'all could have done something way better than this. But hey, that's what we were given. So,
right?
We start off the episode with saying goodbye to the Countess and congratulating Vanessa on her win. And Tabitha was extremely cocky at the beginning of the episode, honey.
Very much so.
Baby, why were you so cocky? You didn't know the words. You did not know the words. And you were up there talking about, yep, we killed it, blah, blah, this. I'm like, no, Poonie killed it. You were there.
I think she just, I low-key think everybody had something against the Countess.
It kind of sounded that way when everybody was talking. I'm like, oh, nobody was living for Countess? Maybe they thought it wasn't fair that she was there based on her relationship with Fred. Same for Vivaldi. But we'll get to that. But baby, at the beginning of the episode, you could tell Vanessa is over Vivaldi. Over. And it's going to lead to some major stuff here in a second. But baby.
And I don't understand. Well, I mean, I kind of understand, like, if the first incident was true, where Vivaldi was like, oh yeah, you killed it, you did good. And then she backslid and was like, oh no, she did bad in front of everybody, then I understand her being upset. With this new issue, though.
With this new issue, I'm leaning towards Vanessa's side more than Vivaldi's. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, because maybe there's something about it I didn't understand.
Yeah. So they did another little dance for Fred when he came in the next day. I hope they keep doing that. That's really cute. I'm loving that. That's honestly the only thing I'm loving this season. So the mini challenge, they have a good old-fashioned matching game where they have, 14 pit crew members? 16. Yeah, there were 16 pit crew members, and they all had emojis on their butts, so they had to tell them to turn around and match up and all this stuff. My little Poonie won. with, I think they said 5 matches.
Right.
And because she won, she gets to pick her role in the upcoming Maxi Challenge, which is Coffee Made, which is a morning talk show.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, she got to pick her role. Then the rest of the queens got to, oh, I want this, oh, I want that. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, they should have just let Poonie pick it all. Usually that's what happens. If you win, you
You
get to
pick
pick your
all of
role.
it.
And you're the casting director, honey. You get to pick everybody. But hey, Holland does everything ass backwards as we're finna get to it.
Mm. I
So
don't think Holland wants to be RuPaul's Drag Race. They want it to be Fred's special drag show.
I don't know what they want it to be, but we'll get to it. So I'm gonna quickly go over who everybody was casted as. My Little Poonie and Keita Minaj were the co-hosts. They were the anchors. They started off the show. They were doing this. Vanessa was the medium, coming to give some good old advice. And then Vivaldi and Tabitha were the salespeople, and they were selling some weird brush that I really didn't understand.
It's supposed to be like a teasing comb brush thing.
Yeah, like I said, I still don't understand. But let's get to these screenshots, honey. Let's share. Let me move. I can't see. I had to move my notes so I can see. Okay, so we are going through a lot over here. Here we go. For some reason, my folder that I had open with the screenshots went away. All right.
Didn't like it either.
All right. So let's go over how they did in the talk show challenge. They had guests there, Catherine Keel. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name correctly. But there's one thing about this challenge that really didn't sit right with the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a talk show. Why did Fred stop them? A talk show, there's no stopping. When you're live, you're live. You gotta go. They're reading off a teleprompter and everything. So it was kind of confusing that Fred stopped it twice. Once during them two and once during the sales pitch. And Fred was like, hey, make sure you do this, that, and the third. Go. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you're gonna do a talk show challenge, you need to do a live talk show challenge, like one take. I can't help you. You mess up, you mess up.
I don't think it was like our version, the American version of a talk show. But I think it was more like a pre-recorded program.
But with the talk show, with Miss Catherine, who was there, she mentioned how they did it live. She was like, oh, he asked them if he did something live, and she was like, well, we couldn't do this live. And I'm like, so that makes me think they did it, over there, they do their morning talk shows live as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why are we going through the fact that they're reading off a teleprompter? If that's the case, just give them a script.
Right.
So I felt that was weird going into it, because I'm like, okay, we're starting. And then Fred stopped, and I'm like, Fred, what are you doing? Fred, no. Stop that, Fred. No. But anyway, let's talk about how they did it. First, we got our co-host here, My Little Poonie and Keita Minaj. What did you think of these two here?
They were funny.
Oh, they were hilarious. They did the assignment. The voices they had, oh my God. The voice alone was killing me.
And I like the fact that they like played off of each other, like outfit wise.
Yes.
You got one with the blue hair and the other one with the blue outfit, pink hair, pink outfit, big boobs, little boobs. Yeah.
And they played off each other so well. Like,
it helps that they were friends.
Yeah, it helps that they were friends. But the chemistry was there. The fight was good. Like, everything they did was amazing. And I really thought this was going to be a double win just based off the challenge.
Right.
Based off the challenge. Up next, we had Tabitha and Vivaldi, who are our salespeople. I just wrote down struggle. It neither one of them really shined to me.
It was like, I feel like Tabitha was just, she was like, because she's just been super duper cocky this whole episode, and for her to be like, oh, I can I can act myself off. It doesn't matter what I do, da, da,
Yeah,
da,
she
da,
was like,
da.
"Oh, y'all pick what y'all want. I can handle whatever."
And yeah, like she didn't handle that well at all. It was more of a struggle than when our reigning super queen had to do her acting challenge.
But yeah, they both just kind of for me. And then we're gonna talk about Vanessa. This was the shot that I got her next to Keita. But Vanessa as the medium. What did you think how did you think she did as the medium?
Oh, that was horrible.
Was it?
Horrible. Like,
I liked it.
I don't know.
I did. I really liked it.
I
I was
think
sitting
she
there, I
just
was laughing, and I think she played off the turban slipping off very well.
mhm.
As soon as she flipped it back, oh, she in the call. Thank you, click. Because I swear that'll be me. Let something fall off. I'll get myself back together. You know what? I'm done talking to you. Bye. I thought she did a really good job, and Fred and Catherine were laughing. So it just made me think, oh, she's doing even a better job because, we're translating and reading while trying to listen. So it's just like,
Mhm.
if they're laughing in the native tongue, I'm like, okay, then they must really be doing something right. But apparently
Yeah,
not.
apparently not.
So after the challenge was over, we got a little bit of a little and I've noticed Holland does this because if you think back last season, Miss Abby, oh my God, and Cetogene, remember? After a
Yeah,
challenge in catering, actually, in catering,
I remember.
back there just arguing.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if this is something they're trying to make Holland stand out from this, but honestly, this wasn't the argument to air because baby. So I've wrote down so many notes. Okay. So Vanessa was basically expressing how she felt like she did a bad job. Her turban fell off. She tried to play it off. She was having her moment.
Right.
And Vivaldi was basically just annoyed the fact that she's over there expressing her emotions. And she said it was annoying. And, she was annoyed with Vanessa because she was over there whining.
Mhm.
Those were her words. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, just from the piece we saw, she was really just standing there talking to the other queens about, what was going on. But then again, they've had this little going on for a few episodes now.
Right.
So honestly, I can see how Vivaldi be like, yeah, you're annoying at this point. You're really just not really doing anything, but we've had issues. So you just existing right now is annoying.
Right.
So yeah. Then Vivaldi called her dramatic for what she was doing. And then that's when Vanessa really got upset. No, I think she got upset. Then Vivaldi called her dramatic, and that just took
Took it
it to
up
the
to
next
10.
level. And then Vanessa, I live for her in this exact moment. She's like, baby, I got tea. You don't want to mess with me, okay? You might want to shut up and take your makeup off, okay? I'm paraphrasing. You might want to sit there and take off that makeup because I got tea, honey. Oh, you want to keep talking? Okay, let's talk about that cell phone you got snuck up in your room. Oh, 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 baby. I stood there, had my little blanket. I was like, oh, I covered my face. I was like, oh, oh. Baby. I'm like, now listen, it's no secret that a lot of the queens have snuck phones in. But like it's never made it to TV or made it to where it was addressed in the workroom. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I was like, oh, honey. And the fact they aired this because they didn't have to air this. This
No.
is a part of the show they normally don't air.
No.
So the fact that they aired this and still didn't disqualify this girl really don't sit right in my spirit. Because if you weren't going
Yeah.
to do nothing about it, why air it?
Exactly.
Why air it?
Why?
We could have filled something else there. We could have did something else. Because baby, y'all have no problem filling the TV show. Y'all have no problem filling that hour, honey. That is one thing America wishes they could do is fill their time, honey, because y'all feel it, all right? But anyway, it just, they got into it.
Right.
She
Because
addressed
it was like, I guess maybe I just wasn't reading it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, why is she like that upset? Because like you were like, what do you mean? Shut up, Vanessa. Because I said that last night. And you were like, what? And I'm like, because I think it's just because you took it a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
I
see,
think she
that's
did it.
the thing about us having to translate. You know, they're translating us reading. You can
Mhm.
take it one way. I could take it another. Like I took it as Vivaldi doing too much. You
Mhm.
took it as Vanessa being the one who was doing too much.
Doing too much.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose. I want to speak to someone who actually is native Dutch or whatever. You know, they speak like 4 languages over there. So whatever language they were speaking, can tell us like how was it portrayed to them? Someone who speaks the language, like was it more of a Vivaldi thing or was it more of a Vanessa thing?
Yeah, like whose side are you on?
Like
I'm
was
like,
it kind of like,
I'm not necessarily picking
yeah?
either side because
Oh, I am now
obviously,
that Vivaldi didn't go home, so I am now.
well, yeah,
I am now.
I'm yeah,
I am
but
now.
because Vivaldi's not on my roster, I'm left
I
with
don't think she's on
Vanessa.
mine. I don't even know where that list is. I put it somewhere. I'm just so
No,
mad.
you have two. I think you have Kita and Vanessa,
Yeah, I think I have Keita and Vanessa left, and I think you just have Vanessa.
and I just have Vanessa, and I'm like high key, low key wishing you would let me just edit my list as the season goes.
Nope, honey. Nope. We got to stick with the originals, honey. We got because if that's the case, I would have added Raja for All Star 6, honey. Because after the first 2 episodes, I'm like, damn it, I should have picked Raja.
Right? Maybe we should change the format and instead of doing it one episode in, maybe 2 episodes in.
uh-uh. I like it to see where we start and where we end. But anyway, so yeah, they had this big ordeal. The other queens, a few of them acted surprised, and the other few were like, "Girl, why are you blasting this? We all knew she had a phone." And then Vivaldi shared a little backstory to talking about how she suffered from depression, and using the cell phone to stay in contact with her mother, which I believe that's what she was doing, but also, just like the queen said later, she could have easily looked up some inspiration for a challenge or for something else while they were there. So that is
Yeah, but
clear
it's not
disagreement.
like
Huh?
it's not like they were um doing it at the same time. Like, because don't they have to have the outfits before they get there?
Yeah, but Vivaldi can sew. So what if while she was there, she's like, "Ooh, let me look this up. Oh, this is nice. Okay, okay. When I get to the workroom, I can make something based off of this. Looking for inspiration."
Okay, I get
That's my thing. She might have had it there to contact with her mother. I'm not saying she's lying on that, but I feel like she's not telling the whole truth.
the whole
The
story.
whole truth. And why put it on the television if we're not going to have a good conclusion? But yeah, each queen, because after the runway, which we're going to get to in just a second, Fred's like, okay, what do you think we should do? Everybody says send her home.
Right.
Send her home.
And RuPaul wouldn't even question it.
I don't know. After that old Scarlett Adams thing, I don't know. RuPaul might have been like, you know what, you can stay.
Sorry if you hear that. I think it might just be, and I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, she's just like old as dirt. It's more or less like she's an older, more mature queen, and sometimes, like you would do your own child, you just got to give them another chance.
No. No, I'm sorry.
And
I go back to Willem's disqualification.
Right.
I go back to Willem's disqualification. Think about it when you're thinking about that. That's the same lane as bringing some. He brought his husband at the time in. They brought a cell phone. That is in the same lane to me. Not exactly the same thing, but they're around. They're in the same neighborhood.
Right.
They're in the same neighborhood. So her ass should have got sent home. Her ass should have went to the house. That was bullshit. And we'll get to more of it when we discuss the lip sync. I didn't even get a screenshot of the lip sync because I was so pissed off. All right. So we're going to go to the runway. And first we're going to talk about Fred. What do we think of Fred's look?
You know, Fred's knees don't sit right with me.
This is the first time I feel like should have had on tights. All the other looks with the bare leg worked, but with this one, I'm like, I think you should have put on some tights.
Something, because everything else looks tight. Everything else still looks like you're 40-something vamp. Your knees, however, betray your age and make you look like you're almost 60.
I wonder how old Fred is. I'll look that up after we get done here. But I still like the look.
Yeah, it was a good look.
But the legs throw me off. The legs throw me off.
Like from the thighs up, it's great. From under the knee down, it's great. This the knees get that skin pulled back. They got surgeries for everything. You could probably figure that out.
They have surgeries for everything. All right,
they do.
LaCresha, you were in the Netherlands and you were going to Drag Race Holland. You get a list. You see opposites attract. What two looks are you bringing to portray the opposites attract?
I know this question's always going to come up and I should have it prepared already, but I didn't think about it. I'm just letting you know now. I did not think about it. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, opposites attract. Ooh, you know what? Would have did like a Little Mermaid thing, maybe. Beauty and the Beast. Tiana and the Frog. Inner Saboteur.
Inner Saboteur. That's very similar to what they did, I want to say season 10 of Drag Race, the Inner Saboteur.
Didn't they do that with 13 too?
I don't think so. Did they? I don't think they did.
No, just a lot of people took that as the theme.
Got you. Now, when I first heard opposites attract, my first thought was like, oh, good versus evil, love versus hate,
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, what is the best opposites attract story out there? Romeo and Juliet.
So you did a Romeo and Juliet.
I would have done a Romeo and Juliet inspired look. Yep, that's what I would have done. Yeah, I would have done Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Oh my goodness. So category is opposite attracts. Let's get to it. First is Tabitha. What did you think of Tabitha's both looks? What did you think of both looks?
I have a problem. I think, and I'm all for being confident and stuff like that, but I really wish she would find another silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
And because like literally everything she pulls out just about is like a bodysuit. And certain judges would not let that fly.
Certain judges.
I'm just saying. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You have great legs. Great legs. That peak wig did not work with this outfit at all. I didn't like it. I like the funeral outfit. That was my favorite part. But the T-length train with the less than T-length dress, if she'd have went like actual bride instead of Hoochie Hollywood Las Vegas bride, I probably would have been a little bit more convinced.
For me, I like these looks, but I agree they're very basic.
Yes.
These are better looks that Tabitha is walking down the runway with because there's been some worse looks. But I agree with mostly what you said. I still like them. I still think that I understand her placement this episode. I don't agree with the conclusion.
Right.
Let's move on to the next person. We have Vanessa.
One called the A.
Yes, love versus hate. Now, they really drug this look here on the left, her black ensemble here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't understand. These judges are really, they confuse me with their judging with Vanessa. Because some of the things I'm watching, I'm like, oh, she's serving. And then Fred's like, oh, we hated it. What? Because I thought this was a great look. I thought both looks were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a different style for Vanessa. She is completely out there with this. And it looks good. So it just really, again, Fred's judging. We need a new host. After this episode, I am down for them to get a new host. Fred got to go. Bring Envy in. Bring whoever wins season 2 and let them host it. This, I'm trying to stay calm because you know how pissed I got yesterday when we were talking about it. Honestly, I feel like they are sweeping Vanessa under the rug. They're not giving her the acknowledgement that she deserves, and that really irritates my spirit because she is sickening. And and in my opinion, she's doing great in most of these challenges, and the judges are paying her dust. This is a former Miss Continental. But hey, what do you think of her looks?
I like the death look and I like the life look. The boobage looks a little plump.
A little plump.
A little plump up top. But you know, if I'm gonna portray Mother Nature, I don't know if I would have went with like complete and total red everywhere, but I did like the Mother Nature look more than I like the death look. But and I think the makeup could have been a little bit better on the death look. But other than that, she served. She did really good. Like I was like, dang.
All right, up next is Vivaldi.
Those looks were questionable to me. I'm assuming there was supposed to be like a continuity complex with wearing the same shoe, just two different colors. But that doesn't look like an evil Cupid to me. It looks like Maleficent and a piece of cotton candy. And I'm pretty sure you just have so much to say or nothing to say at all because you don't deserve.
Up next is Keita Minaj. Miss Keita.
Oh my God.
Ms.
Why?
Keita. Miss Keita.
Why?
Miss Keita. These are the first looks right here. This is what we had at first.
Lovely. I know.
These were lovely as they were. I felt this was a little bulky, but I'm like, okay, these are still cute. But then she hit us with the bam. And then she hit us with the bam. That was the best shot I could give of this one after the reveal.
Well, yeah, because she struggled a little bit trying to get it undone.
Yeah, but look at it. Look at the face.
Yeah, that was not the face.
But such a Keita. If they don't crown Keita at this point, what's the point? What is the point? If we're not going to crown Keita now, what is the point of this whole competition? What is the point?
I'm not going to watch season 3 if Vivaldi wins. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll discuss because I have some things to say when we get to the end. Up next is my little pony. What do you think of my little pony's looks here?
They weren't my favorite, although her ass did look great in that black jumpsuit.
I'm like, they were cute, but there was nothing to write home about. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think this is what caused her from having a double win this week. Because going into it, I'm like, okay, I feel like it's going to be both of them because they both slayed. They were hilarious. Let's see how this runway works, but I still think it's going to be both of them. After seeing the runway, I'm like, yeah, it's going to go to Kita. It's going to Kita. It's going to Kita. It's going to Kita.
Them stockings.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's our runway. Our winner this week is Kita Minaj, giving her third win this season.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, all right. So our bottom queens this week were Vanessa, Vivaldi, and Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred was like, you know what? Based on your actions, so it made me think he was really finna put Vanessa in the bottom, but because you broke the rules, you're now finna lip sync. Box, does that make sense to you? No, it don't make sense to me either.
Just say box.
Listen, I'm petty, so you know what I would have done? I've been like, Vivaldi, you may join the other girls. I would have never said you were safe. I'll say, Vivaldi, you may join the other girls. Step to the back. Had Vanessa and Tabitha lip sync. And they'd be like, I made my decision. Vivaldi, can you step back up here, please?
So
Go
you'd have
home.
pulled a RuPaul.
Go home. Matter of fact, I would have been like, hold on. I made my decision. Vivaldi, sashay away. Don't even come up to the front of the stage. Just exit stage left, please.
Cause that's what RuPaul did to Willem.
Willem, yes, Willem won the challenge. Willem won the challenge. And then the lip sync happened, and then RuPaul called Willem back up. I wouldn't call Vivaldi back up. I'm like, I made my decision. Vivaldi, sashay away. Don't even come up here. Y'all don't get. Bye. It's just, what is the point of taking us through that whole thing to not send her home? Because y'all did make her seem sympathetic. Because yeah, she was up there apologizing, but I didn't believe a word she said. It's more like, I'm sorry I got caught than I'm sorry that I did it.
I'm sorry because I'm on camera.
And it really irritated me. So they Tabitha and Vivaldi lip synced to a song in Dutch. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. But what did you think of the lip sync?
It was kind of boring.
Baby, Tabitha ate that. Baby, she ate that one. She ate that one. Ate her down, ate her for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. It was what it was
what
right.
You needed.
It was what I needed from Tabitha. And I'm like, okay, Tabitha did good. So yeah, send this her home. And then she's gonna be like, Vivaldi, Shantae, you said, who? Vivaldi. And you did all that hollering fit. Follow the fucking rules. What the hell was that? Why did we go through all that if you weren't gonna send her home? I can't even wrap my brain around it. I was trying to think about what could keep Vivaldi there. And I'm like, what, Vivaldi had that one win from Snatch Game that she really didn't deserve. Her looks have been subpar at best. So please tell me what reasoning was it to keep Vivaldi in there unless you just wanted a skinny white fashion queen? It's just, I don't understand Holland. I don't understand this show. This is the second season in a row that Fred has made some stupid decisions. Stupid. I'm sorry, last season, Chelsea Boy shouldn't have been in the bottom 2 for the makeover. Setter Jean, yeah, she should have been in the bottom 2, but she won that lip sync. Patty Pam Pam shouldn't have went home. So it's just like, I'm so confused. Fred gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the right person wins, if Fred is still going to be hosting season 3, I'm not sure if I'm going to watch. Because what's the point of putting myself mentally through all this?
Right.
I have to read the subtitles, understand what's going on, and then on top of that, there's some bullshit. Straight bullshit. Y'all should have left all that off.
Yes, especially if you weren't going to do anything about it. Because it sits there.
Are we supposed to feel sympathy for her? Because I don't.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, you're gonna get like one or two reactions. There's gonna be the RuPaul purist like yourself who are like, no, she should have went home. And that's going to cause controversy. And then you're going to lose viewership. And then you're not going to end up with a season 3. It's going to stop at season 2. And it's going to be several years before they decide, oh, well, we'll go ahead and let somebody else host it or whatever the situation happens to be. But, and I'm pretty sure, like at the end of the episode, when RuPaul does her little appearance via television screen, I'm pretty sure there was more to that and they cut it out because it just seemed like it. And I don't know, like I feel like because she broke the rules, yes, she should have just went home. She should have went home, because every other season where somebody's broken a rule or done something they weren't supposed to outside of season whatever with what's her name, they went home. Yeah, like they were called out, they were punished.
They disqualified a queen from Thailand because she used a prop from her hotel room on the runway, and they said that was against the rules.
Oh wow.
So please tell me why Vivaldi was asked to stay. And then no, let me get into this, because the preview for next week, Fred's all crying and telling me, I can't believe I'm asking you to go home. Who the hell you asking to go home, Fred? Because I guarantee you, if you send Keita home next week, I'll finish this season, but I'll never watch another Holland. I will never watch another Holland. The fact she sat there and said, I can't believe I'm telling you to go home, makes me think it's either going to be Poonie or Keita Minaj. And if you send Keita home with 3 wins and never have been into the bottom prior to that episode, if she is in the bottom, I'm reading in between the lines here. I may be completely wrong, and I hope I am. But when I just watched that, literally while I was grabbing screenshots, I'm like, wait a minute. Are y'all finna send Keita home?
Well, I mean, it could have been Vanessa.
I don't see it, because, she's been tough on Vanessa all season. So I don't see her being as emotional as Fred was sending home Vanessa. I promise you, if Keita Minaj goes home next week, we will not be reviewing the rest of the season. If My Little Poonie goes home next week, we will not be reviewing the rest of this season. I'll accept Vanessa, but it should be Vivaldi shouldn't be there. But if you send home your 2 front runners, either one of them next week, I promise you. I don't understand this show. Like, it's irritating at this point. 2 seasons back to back, Fred.
Where the judgment's been like off and suspect, especially when like last season, your very first season, you literally had a queen that was in the bottom every single flipping episode, and yet somehow this broad made it to top 3. I don't understand.
I don't
That made no sense. I mean, because Abby Abby had looks, but they weren't the best looks. They weren't very well put together. And I can understand, especially if it's something that's like hurried or anything like that. But even when she had to make her own stuff, it was garbage. And you still let this girl go through. So now you're sitting here, and I don't know if you're thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to be a little bit harder and not let that happen because I got criticized for that. But you need to make smarter judgments. Don't sit here and be tough just because, like, okay, did I like the Countess judgment where it was like, oh, well, I'm going off track record, so I'm going to go ahead and keep you? Are you just going off of that particular episode, that particular lip sync? Because when RuPaul does it, it's track record, it's the episode, it's everything put together, plus whatever the producers want. But it seems like with Fred, it's literally just, well, in my mind, I already know who I want, so I'm gonna make it so that I can keep them here for as long as possible because I feel like they need whatever it is that they need. Should Tabitha go home? Tabitha should have been out a couple of episodes ago, if I'm being honest. But this was not the episode. Like, I'm not necessarily a purist, but I do understand you have to follow the rules. I don't understand Vanessa's reasoning for outing her, but at the same time, if everybody knew she had one, if the producers knew she had a cell phone, then at some point in time, I wouldn't have addressed it. Period. Like, we didn't even if we didn't have the context for Fred being upset for the whole phone incident, because it's not like we had context for when Willem was sent home. It was literally like this small snippet of Willem's little sassy attitude in confessional, and then it was RuPaul making her statement.
They addressed more in Untucked, like in a couple episodes leading up to it. The queens were starting to mumble about Willem breaking rules. But it didn't really come to a head till that episode. But I know what you're saying. Continue.
Yeah. It's like, so that was like a slow burn, whereas this was like a dumpster fire right off the bat, and it wasn't handled properly.
It wasn't. So my question is, we now at the top 4. Typically, a season with 10 queens lasts 8 episodes. We have only had 5. Am I on 5 or are we on 6? Yeah, we're on 5. This was episode 5. So my thing is, technically there should be 3 more episodes. So I am a little confused on how this is going to play out unless there is going to be a double save somewhere.
There's either going to be a double save or somebody's going to get brought back and they shouldn't have been.
And I'm looking now just to make sure I'm not tripping that was episode 5. But yeah, it's just like, this episode, why put us through all that if you weren't going to
follow through?
Yeah, so it was very weird. Okay, this was episode 6. I'm sorry, I'm off on numbers. This was episode 6. So we have 2 episodes left. So yeah, if they're gonna do a top 3, then yeah, that's fine. But it's just yeah. Honestly, if Keita at this point doesn't win this season, I'm done with Drag Race Holland. Period. Until they get a new host. If they never get a new host, I just won't be covering it. I'll probably watch the finale just so I can say congratulations to whoever won. But I can't go through this bullshit with Fred. Because that's what this is.
We'll probably do it like how we did the celebrity episodes where it was like a snippet at the
end. I probably won't even watch until the finale just so I can see who won. Have no idea who the queens are and just be like, okay, well, I'll probably know who they are because it's me. But like, Just come in on the finale, see who the top 3 is. Okay, cute. Or just watch the spoilers, because those videos be popping up all the time because I watch so much Drag Race content. Just watch the spoilers and see what's going to happen, because at this point, why keep stuff a surprise anymore if Holland's just going to be a whole bunch of bullshit? Because I'm big on staying away from the elimination spoilers. And well, hell, I might as well just watch to see what the hell, but I'm trying. But it's just like things like this. Honestly, this is the worst season of Drag Race. This is the worst, and I'm putting it under Down Under. I'm putting it under All Stars 1. This is the worst season of Drag Race. And I stand by that. And like I said, I would love for people that are from the area to comment and let us know, because, they're having to translate it and we're having to read it. Let us know if we're misunderstanding something, because, stuff can get lost in translation.
Yes.
But at this point, this is the worst season of Drag Race. I am officially done with it. And I hate that because I love Drag Race. I love Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
I love the franchise as a whole. US, UK, Thailand, Canada, Italia when that comes, España. Oh, España was so good. I'm so mad we didn't cover España. I am so mad we didn't cover España because España was so good. And to come off that international franchise to this one that's just full of
oh my God, and that's just utter bullshit.
At this point, bring Supreme in and let Supreme host Holland too.
Because Supreme only had like one bullcrap moment.
Yeah, that was one. I was like, and that was week one. And that was week one. But yeah, I'm over Drag Race Holland. If some bullshit happens next week, do not expect to see our faces next Saturday. I'll post something on Twitter to let folks know if the bullshit happens. So if y'all watch and y'all see Keita or Poonie going home,
thank you for being loyal. Thank you for checking in. But we're gonna be a little absent this week.
And we'll see you when UK starts. Okay. All right. So Miss Ma'am,
take a long needed break.
Hell, it's not that long of a break. Shit. The UK starts in like 2 weeks. Anyway, LaCresha, where can they find you on social media?
I'm at Cretia McGill on all social media.
And you can find me on the social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys later. Bye.